Hey folks, how you doing? I had somebody that gave me this book the other day, yesterday actually. It's called The Week, and the best of the U.S. and international media. November 18th is the one that's dated. So, what is today? Today's 20th. So then it came out Friday. Nice little boy gave it to me. I didn't realize it was that new when he gave it to me. And the main story, why Trump won. And what is his revolution, and what his revolution means for the U.S. and the world. Pages 6, 8, 15, 17, and 40. I read it yesterday. What happened? That's the name of this section. In one of the most stunning upsets in American political history, Republican nominee Donald Trump this week squeaked past Democratic opponent Hillary Clinton to be elected the 45th U.S. president. Now let me stop right there. He didn't squeak. He tore her ass up. He tore her up. We'll get back into this more in a little bit. The billionaire businessman who was written off by almost every pundit going into the election day secured at least 290 electoral college votes, 20 more than required to win. Despite narrowly losing the popular vote to Clinton, 47.7 to 47.5%, according to the incomplete vote totals. That's done changed around. He did whoop her butt in that too. The Republican nominee has been widely expected to lose, with aggregate polls showing him trailing Clinton by 3 points on election day. Now, do you know why he was trailing in the polls on election day? Because when these pollsters call, the people are lying. Why are the people lying? Because in today's world, if you don't like what I'm saying, which a lot of folks don't, then I'm a racist, a bigot, a hater, a womanizer, I'm this phobia, that phobia, something else phobia. And that really bothers some people. Me, I laugh about it. Call me what you want. I call me an American and a proud one. But people didn't want to be caught up in all that nonsense, so they lied. And then when they got into the polls, guess what? They voted what they really thought. So they lied to you on your polls on the phone, and they told the truth at the polls at the vote. That's what happened, folks. Cut and dry. Let's see. He is the oldest ever president-elect and the first never to have held elected political office or served in the military. What's that tell you? We're tired of the damn political people running the country. I could go on, I won't. In a conciliatory victory speech, Trump praised his opponent for her service to our country. That's about a joke. Promised to give every American the opportunity to realize his or her fullest potential, and pledged to unify the nation. We will seek common ground, he said, not hostility. Clinton told a crowd of somber and crying supporters that the loss was painful and urged them to keep fighting for their progressive principles. Now, she did this the next day. She didn't come out that night. Sissy. but she said the country owed the next president an open mind and a chance to lead. Trump's victory came as the result of a powerful surge of support from white royal voters. He narrowly won the key battleground states of Florida and North Carolina before sweeping to victory with surprisingly easy wins in the Rust Belt states of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. He won white voters 58 to 37%. Among the other swing states, Clinton won only Colorado, Nevada, and Virginia. Trump's victory triggered shockwaves around the world, see Best Columns International, and sparked volatility in the financial markets, see Business. Russian President Vladimir Putin, who has been accused of meddling in the election, see Talking Points, sent Trump a congratulatory telegram. What the editorial said: Trump's monumentous victory marks a thunderous repudiation of the status quo. See, why y'all gotta try to talk so damn fancy? How about just use regular old English and instead of trying to act like you're some hoop-de-doo-lah? And yeah, I ain't no damn dummy, but this is stupid. I got a buddy of mine that tries to use every fancy word he can just to impress somebody. Why? You know, that shit just aggravates me. Not that you would notice. Not just of the remote and often robotic Hillary Clinton, but of the President Obama, the liberal agenda, the political establishment. Democrats may try to blame their repudiation on the late announcement by FBI Director James Comey that the agency was again examining Clinton's emails. Oh, I need to turn on this auxiliary before I run down on my power. Now here in a minute you should hear the van kick on. There's the fan. Now here in a second APU should kick on. Let's see. Democrats may try to blame their repugnance on the late announcement by FBI Director James Comey that the agency was again examining Clinton's emails. But this populist rebellion against globalization, immigration, and free trade had been brewing since the global financial crisis exploded, exposed the profound fault lines in American. Yep, it was getting low there. Look, bottom line is, they can holler all they want. You and I know why Trump won. I'm putting this down. I was going to read it to you. I ain't going to do it. It's real simple. Trump won because the people are fed up. They've had enough. The Democrats, they're trying to holler, not the Democrats are trying to holler. The media's trying to holler how the white guy did it. No, it takes more than one race in the United States to vote in or out a president. Period. You know what it boils down to? Trump got out there and he worked his tail off, and he got out there and wrenched people like you and I that the political experts have forgotten. He got up there into Detroit. He got into the black communities, and he talked to them. Yeah, okay, all of them didn't go for it, but enough of the older ones listened. And his story to them was real simple. He said that you've been voting Democrat for all these years. And what do you have to show for it? Your city's trashed. Every election they come around and start telling you how they're going to do better for you. Where's it at? He said, from what they've done for you, what harm can it do if you vote for me? What have you got to lose anymore? You know? And there was enough of them that said, he might have a point. So some of them voted for him. There's a ton of the Mexican Americans that voted for Trump. The news wants you to act like none of the Mexicans wanted to vote for him. The Latinos, as they call them. That's crock of bull. I've seen their signs at different rallies and all that stuff. You know? Sure, there's going to be some that didn't want him in. They're called illegals. There'll be some that ain't illegals that want him in. It's called their families illegals. Why in the world would anybody not want us to have secure borders? Makes no sense to me. There's some kind of agenda there. The media wants you to think that women are not voting for him because he said bad stuff 11 years ago. Hillary got people killed. I know a lot of women, most of the women I know, voted for him. My wife, my daughter, our neighbors. I know a lot of people that voted for him. I don't know anybody that voted for Hillary. So no, it isn't a surge of the white working man that pulled together because we want our country back. We want a white America. No, we want America back. America back. I really don't care what color anybody is. That is not important to me whatsoever. I don't care what sex you are. I do not care if you're gay. I don't care about none of that. That's all your living. If you don't try to force your stuff on me, I ain't got a problem with it. So guess how come I don't like the Muslims and the ISIS nonsense? Because they want to force their stuff on me. There's the American for you. Most Americans are just like me. I'll let you be. You do your thing. As long as it ain't hurting nobody, do your thing. But when your thing comes into my life, and I don't like it, and you insist that I do it, I got a problem. That's the American way, people. That's the American way. Tell me I'm wrong. Now, how many of y'all really don't care what neighbor on either side of you, either neighbor, you don't care what they do? Do you? Do you care what religion they are? Do you care their sexual preference? Do you care where they work? Do you care what their habits are? Do you care what they're watching on TV? Do you care who they pray to? I bet you really don't. Now then, if they start bringing it into your house and insisting that you do what they want, now do you have a problem? Of course you do. And that's what this election was about. We've been having so much stuff forced down our throats. Period. Most of it don't care about the gays. I don't care if you're gay. You know, I really don't. But I do care when the government is forcing bakeries and other people and fining them because they cannot refuse them service. The country I grew up in, the America I grew up in, every business had a right to refuse service to anyone. What happened to that? Where did that go? How can you vote that? How can you make a law to do away with that? You shouldn't. That's our right. That's one of our rights. And when they start taking away our rights, I have a problem. And that's one of the rights they took away. When you tell me that I must accept these Muslims and whatnot, refugees. I ain't going with your refugees. There are a bunch of Muslims that are coming over here and they want to change my country and force their way down my throat. Nope, don't like it. And neither does the rest of America. But the powers to be don't understand this. Why don't they understand it? Because they live the life of the elite. They're not out of here with you and I. They don't really have a clue. When was the last time you actually shook hands and talked to a politician? I have once in my life in 57 years, and it was mouth service is all he did. You know, the old thing about kissing the babies? That's about all it was. And it was some little local, state level type deal. You know, they don't listen. They don't care. They're not in our world. Trump got out there and he listened. And I watched the man. When somebody was talking, you could see it. He would stand there and he listened and he watched them. You could tell he was listening to what they were saying. I have a son that when you talk to him, he's a very smart boy. I mean, he's extremely smart. But you can see that he's already working on a reply, a rebuttal to what you're saying. So he's not really listening to what you say. Now, he's gotten better as an adult, but this went all the way back to when he was a kid. So you learn, as you learn people, you can see when they are listening. And Trump was listening. People know that. People like that. They like to know that somebody is listening. And he honed in on what the people were saying. There was an article I read. I don't think I did a video about it. I was going to the other day, and I didn't get to. I don't think I did. If I did, I'm going to tell the story partially again. Some reporter, I think her name was Toby, and she said that back in the middle of the summer, she took a trip with her dad and her little sister. Let me get a drink. She said it was like a 4-hour drive to go to this tournament that her little sister was playing in. And I don't remember what the tournament was. Who cares? And she went along to support her little sister. They're driving through Pennsylvania. And she said they went to a lot of towns that were just devastated. Lucky to have a Family Dollar, a thrift store type place. Every town had abandoned factories. Some of them had empty Walmarts, which is why I hate Walmart. Walmart would come into a small town. They've been doing it for years. Years and years and years. It ain't new. They come into a town and open up, and they'll put out all the mom and pop hardwares and 5 and dimes. We used to have some cool 5 and dimes. And Western Autos. You remember all those we grew up with? Walmart's the one that put all them out of business. Then they didn't make enough money in that area, so they closed their store and left. Now the town's totally screwed. Mom and pops are gone. They ain't gonna reopen. Can't afford it. Walmart left. Now people are having to drive an hour, 2 hours away. Just go grocery shopping and stuff. That's why I don't like Walmart. I detest Walmart. That's the biggest disagreement my wife and I have. She likes going to Walmart to save a little bit of money. And I'm of a frame of mind, screw them suckers. I'd rather pay the extra money to the mom and pop over here. Anybody but Walmart. I hate Walmart. And then on the trucking end of it, and I'll get back on my other deal. It's just a small rabbit trail. On the trucking end of it, you get to a Walmart DC, that's a distribution center. They ordered this truckload of freight that you brought to them, and you button their docks. You have to pay them. Somebody has to pay them to unload that freight. Really? You ordered it. Get your junk off my truck. So I was at one of the DCs in Texas several years ago, and this stuff it used to get me riled up. I'm much better nowadays. Seriously, I used to get fired up. Good Lord has helped me a lot with my temper. I'm on a tyrant, and I'm like, y'all ordered this nonsense. Why in the world does someone have to pay you to take it off? And he says, well, we take all that money that we charge you guys, and it goes into this donation fund thing, and these charities get it from Walmart. I said, so you're stealing money from the trucking industry and giving it to charities in the name of Walmart. I said, that's deceitful and that's theft. If you want to give money to charity, take it out of your employees' pockets. How's that? How about taking out some of them officers' bonuses? How's that? How about leaving the trucking industry and the truck drivers alone? Alright, but I don't like Walmart. When me and the wife go shopping together, we normally don't go to Walmart. So, guess what? I don't like Walmart. And she gets tired of hearing me. I'll go off on them in a heartbeat in Walmart. Oh, I hate Walmart. Alright, so anyway, Toby is taking this ride with her dad and her little sister, going through Pennsylvania, and they're seeing this kind of nonsense. And house is run down, the whole bit. And she said that there was a Trump sign, a Trump Pence sign in the yard. And weeds growed up, the whole bit. And her dad pointed at the sign and said, yep, we're in Trump country, Toby. He says, look at it. He says, they've lost hope. Everybody voted for Obama for hope and change. He was going to change stuff. He was going to help the country. He was going to help the black guy. He was going to help the poor people. He didn't. He hurt us. He says, look at the towns. There's nothing here. People are scared. How do they feed their families? He says, you got the younger generation coming up, your age. How do they feed their families? They're scared. Here they are, 24-ish, and already got 1-2 kids, and how do I feed my babies? They're scared. See, the politicians ain't getting into that. The politicians are not seeing that. Trump saw that. Trump talked to that. Trump went and visited that. According to the politicians, the only poor, begotten people is the black community and the Hispanic community. Hogwash. Hogwash. It's small town America that's hurt. And when you go into them towns, you have people of all races, of all colors, of all genders. Poverty is not restricted to only the black people. Depression is not restricted only to the Mexican people. We have it all across our country. And Trump's seen that, and Trump talked to it. Trump addressed it. Hillary didn't. Hillary went to her big cities and she did the normal political mouthpiece stuff. She went up there, oorah, oorah, how great are we, yay, yay, yay. And the whole of America is saying, And that's what they did too. Come voting day, what'd she get? You know, that's why Trump won. People are scared. People are worried. Is he the great white hope? I don't know. He's got to do better than her. He's got to. So that's why Trump won. People are desperate. People are scared. I don't know about you, but I'm not any better off after the last 8 years of a Democrat political machine. Are you? Honestly. I have an uncle that's trying to tell me how he is. And I said, how so? Oh, well, that's what my bank account tells me. The rest of America is saying, ouch. You know? He unfriended me. That was a couple years ago. Love you, Uncle Richard. Enjoy your retirement, buddy. I'm still trying to put mine together because of your Democratic president that you like so well. That's my little spill. They're still talking about why he won. It ain't that hard to figure out. And it ain't got nothing to do with hate. It ain't got nothing to do with race. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that nonsense. It's got to do with survival. People are scared and trying to survive. People are scared for our country, wondering if it will survive. All right. God loves you. So do I. I think he's going to smile on us. Keep the country in your prayers. God bless you. Have a good evening.